Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having an incredible day. Now guys, in this video I'm going to be harvesting the seed from my Opuntia vulgaris seed pod. And this is what the seed pod looks like. Obviously it's not the most attractive looking thing. It's actually a little bit overripe. Now this seed pod was actually gifted to us by our wonderful friend James, who is at the Cactus and Succulent Society in Dublin. So hi James, if you're watching this. This is the seed pod that we have had for months. I think the last time we had this was possibly in maybe the July time. You bought a planting and you gifted us the seed pod. So this is exciting. So again, thank you, James, for this. And now it's ready to harvest. Now, this is a little bit overripe. As you can see, it's very sort of shriveled, but it's nice and soft. So it's going to be really easy to harvest the seed. And I'm doing this video because a few people say, oh, how do you harvest cacti seed? Now, cacti come in so many different varieties and all their seeds are different. Some of them might be dry, some come as a fruit like this, and then you have to separate the pulp from the fruit. But I've got a playlist on harvesting cacti seed and growing cacti from seed. Links up above to that playlist. As you'll see, there's many different types of seed harvesting videos with cacti on there, and they all vary so much. But this one is Opuntia vulgaris. But a lot of the Opuntias will be pretty much the same in how they are. They form the fruit. And often the fruit, you'll know when the fruit is ready to pick because it'll be nice and soft. And when it's firm and hard, it's not ready to harvest yet. So if you harvest the seed before it's fully mature, it may not germinate. So this is well overripe. And I'm going to be showing you what to do here. Now, what you need to do is you have to separate the pulp from the seed. So in this case, get some strong tissue paper, toilet roll. In this case, I'm using toilet roll, but it's strong, or tissue paper, just so you've got something to absorb the pulp. And then obviously you make sure that the fruit is nice and soft. You just literally split it open. You can either use a sharp object, or in this case, I'm just using my fingernails here to pull apart. Oh, it's broke apart there. Look at that. Wow, that's when you know it's really harvested. It's ready to harvest. Look at all that delicious fruit, guys. Oh, look at it all oozing out. You want to ooze all of that pulp. And wow. Oh, it smells gorgeous, guys. And all cacti fruit is edible. So a lot of people say, oh, can I eat this fruit? It is edible. But to be honest, it's so small that I'd rather have the seed from this. And really easy to do. It's just literally soften up all of that pulp in the fingers, in the thumbs, like that. And then all you want to do is literally just wipe all across here. Because although this looks a mess, over the next few hours, it's a lovely sunny day today. This is in my office and the sun's coming right onto the table, so this will dry out in no time at all. You just want to literally wipe as much of the pulp as you can onto the paper towel. And so the pulp is what contains all the seed. And the only way of separating it is doing this method, because it's going to be very, you cannot see the seed either. And look at that, it looks a bit gory, guys. No blood and gore here. It is just fruit, and the fruit smells absolutely gorgeous. I haven't actually tried Opuntia fruit, but I have tried many of the types of cacti fruit. Obviously the most common one being the Hylocereus, the dragon fruit. But I have some of the Ripsalis are like little berries, and they're very tasty, even if they're small. Now, the good thing is with these seeds here, with Opuntias, they're much easier to see than a lot of the other ones. For example, the Echinopsis and Trichocereus seeds are very tiny, so it's very difficult to see them with the pulp. But the good news is here, as you can see, the seeds are large with Opuntias, and looks like there's quite a lot of seed there, as you can see. And literally just what you want to do is spread the seed across and separate the pulp as much as you can. Here, and then what I'm going to be doing is going to be leaving this now for a couple of hours, or as long as it takes for the seed to dry, depending obviously on your environment. This is lovely and warm in my office here, so these will be dry probably within an hour or two, a couple of hours. And then what I'm going to be doing then is gently removing the seed from the paper towel. And then the next process then is to obviously make sure that they're completely dry before putting them to store them before sowing them. Because obviously if you leave it and it's got fruit on, or you put the seed away unless you're sowing it straight away. But if you're putting the seed into storage and it's got little bits of fruit left on it, it can obviously go into fungus and cause problems there. But as you say, as long as the seed is completely dry and you're storing it in a cool, dry place, it shouldn't happen. But even if you're sowing the seed straight away, always make sure you remove as much of the pulp, if not all of the pulp, as possible to risk the chance of fungus setting in. As I say, separating the seed in the paper towel as much as you can there. And I'm going to be leaving this now for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to be showing you the process of removing the seed from the paper towel. Now guys, that's a good few hours later, and as you can see, the tissue paper is completely dry, and the seeds are completely dry as well. So, and look at the fruit's completely dried out, the fruit completely hard. So now the seeds are ready to harvest, and all you have to do is very gently, just slightly pull very gently the seed off the tissue, and it should come away without any problems. And you just do this with all of the seed, very gently. You don't want to put too much pressure because you don't want to damage the seeds. Opuntia seeds have a very thick outer coating. And when it comes to sowing them, they often recommend that you soak them first overnight or even a day before. And some people even actually use a scarification process where they slightly scrape the outer shell. It's supposed to help with germination. I've never done this. I usually either just soak them overnight to soften them up, or in some cases just sow them directly, and have grown Opuntia humifusa seeds before and a couple of other Opuntias with no problems, but obviously you haven't sowed Opuntia vulgaris. But this is the same method with all Opuntia seeds. So I'm going to be gently scraping all these off the tissue, and then show you when they're all off the plate, all off the tissue I should say. That's the seeds all taken off the paper towel. And look how many there are, guys. It's amazing. And as I say, Opuntia seeds are very large, almost like them fruits you get, the pomegranates, I think they're called. It sort of reminds me like that. Isn't it incredible? And obviously we've got the little bag that's labelled Opuntia vulgaris harvested January 2018. And what I do then is, obviously the easy thing is literally put these into the bag. And I'm not going to be sowing these now until the spring, and they can be grown any time of year, ideally in the spring if you haven't got grow lights and the extra heat. But if you've got extra lights and heat, you can sow seeds any time of year. Obviously, if you haven't got grow lights and you haven't got the heat, then I recommend doing it from the spring, sort of March onwards. But sometimes the earlier you can get sowing seeds, the better. So they've got more reserves then for being strong enough to get through the first winter. So I'm going to put these now into the bag. Here you guys, all done now, all nice airtight bag. And I say you can also use a paper envelope, but it's important that you store seeds. If you're not going to be sowing them straight away, store them in a place that is cool and dry, certainly not damp, because that could encourage the seeds to go mouldy. So you want to keep them dry and cool. And they should keep then for possibly up to several years if they're kept in a good place before you're ready to sow them. As I say, we're going to be sowing these in the spring, and watch out for future video when we sow these Opuntia vulgaris seeds. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power. As always, from Ireland. Until the next video, guys. Bye.